What's up, Jet Nation? This is GreenBean, and the opening day debacle is behind us, and we're going to talk about some of the positives. We dig deep, and we'll find them when we come back. Alright, everybody, so like I said, I am GreenBean. This is Jet Nation. Please do us a favor, like, subscribe to this channel. It helps us out a great deal. And then you can hit the bell and be notified every single time I put anything out there, or Jet Nation Radio for that matter. So, how'd we do? We had a nice group of about 50 to 60 people on our live stream with us, our opening day live stream, which was just a blast. I had a really good time with you guys. I'm looking forward to doing it again this coming week against the 49ers. But as we know, it was a rough game. We didn't look good at all. So what I did over the past couple of days was I came down a little bit. I absorbed everybody's blistering opinions of our New York Jets. I even heard a little bit coming out of Seattle, which is where I am now. What do we got over there? Oh, we got a lawnmower kind of a thing. But even from Seattle, little shots fired and all that kind of stuff. So here, we're going to take a few minutes and just look at some of the positives so we can feel good going into the San Francisco game. So, positive number one, game one is over. We had no preseason. We did not have any time to see our guys, to this offensive line in particular, the new wide receivers, the new guys on defense. Jamal Adams gone, C.J. Mosley not there, Avery Williamson out, all those kinds of things. Preseason games are where we get to see who's going to make it and who's not, and we get to allow guys some time to actually get acclimated with these systems and playing with each other. So we didn't get that, and we have a lot of new pieces. So we needed game one. It's essentially a preseason game. Now, we didn't look good in this preseason game, and it counts, unfortunately. But the thing is that they have it in the bag now. We've seen a lot of guys with actual NFL action. Guys like Makai Becton got to play. Guys like Conor Mcgovern, guys like Van Roten and Fant, they all got to play together against a formidable defense, quite frankly. And now we know, they know, I should say, what it's like out there. So that's a good thing. We needed week one to be behind us, and we are here. So that leads us into positive number two, which is Makai Becton. And it will bleed into the rest of the offensive line. But Makai Becton, while he did have a few flubs, he looked pretty damn good. He looked legitimate. He was able to help create the pocket. He was, there were rushers going head on with him pretty much all game, and he did a very, very good job overall. I don't have stat lines for him yet, but I did rewatch some of the game, and it reinforced what I saw, which is Makai Becton looks like he's going to be fine. That is a great Joe Douglas first draft pick, and that's good news. Now that we'll go from Makai Becton all the way to the other side of the line, which is Fant. Fant was obviously, when we signed him, it was looked at as kind of a garbage heap grab when we lost out on Conklin and some of the other guys, so it just looked like a panic move from Joe Douglas, but it looks like that guy can actually play. The plays that I did watch him in particular, he did a very, very good job. So I'm happy to say that our bookends look like they're going to be able to develop with each other and be able to help Sam Darnold to have time. Now, Conor Mcgovern looked very, very good, but there were communication lapses, and you can see them. There's one play in particular, I think it was on the Le'Veon Bell 4-yard loss, where Greg Van Roten and Conor Mcgovern actually messed up their assignment, and the Buffalo Bills defense was able, the defensive line and the blitzer actually was able to get back there and cause the blown up play. So there are going to be things like that. There's going to be situations where they're going to miss assignments. And this is what we talk about when we talk about an offensive line needing time to gel. So We got to see some of that stuff. I wish it didn't happen and all that, but it was bound to happen. I mean, we talked about this ad nauseum beforehand. The line needs time to develop. But the positive there is that last year's line, which stayed terrible all year, these guys actually look like they're going to be able to come out of the darkness and... Sorry, I got lighting issues. I'm outside and I still have lighting issues. But they look like they're going to be able to actually gel as opposed to what we witnessed last year. We have some good guys up there and they're getting better, and they had a good game overall. Sam Darnold had a lot more time than he's used to. There were actually a few plays where he was panicking. He got a little bit of happy feet and threw the ball errantly and rushed style when he didn't have to. The pocket was there. And that's not to say all day, but the pocket was there. Sam Darnold has to get used to actually having some time and trust his offensive lineman, which could also take some time. So the offensive line is a major positive. Now let's go over to the defense. Blesson Austin, this was a guy that was a 6th-round pick, and we drafted him while injured. He had 2 major knee injuries in college and barely played, man. But when he did, people said he was a potential 1st, 2nd-round pick talent. So we got him in the 6th round. I hated the pick, quite frankly. I hate drafting injured guys. But Blesson Austin seems to be progressing nicely. His stat line was, let's take a look. I don't remember numbers. He had 8 tackles, 7 solo, and a forced fumble, and a couple passes defensed. What more could you want? He had that missed tackle on the first play, and after that, he seemed to settle down. And not only is he making the tackles, but that guy can lay some wood, which is another positive. Positive number, whatever. I already lost count. What am I on? 6, 3? I don't know. Positive. Next positive, we're going to talk about another defensive back, Marcus Maye. Marcus Maye did everything that we would hope the person replacing Jamal Adams would do. Now, Jamal Adams out in Seattle had 12 tackles, 8 solo, and a sack. Great stat line. Marcus Maye was 10 tackles, 7 solo, 2 sacks, and a forced fumble. So I would argue that his stat line was actually better than Jamal Adams. But here's the thing. So we didn't lose anything there. We really didn't. Yet we still lost, and in horrible fashion. And this is what people were talking about with Jamal Adams. He is great. He brings great, energy and all that sort of stuff. Makes his tackles, gets his sacks, all those types of things. But it doesn't really have that great of an impact on the game overall if the rest of the team isn't doing their part. So we replaced the Jamal Adams stat line. It's almost identical. As a matter of fact, it's slightly more impactful on the game with the forced fumble and the additional sack. And we still lost. So the good news is we are not missing the Jamal Adams impact on the game, and we get to have 2 number 1 picks and a 3rd round pick in while still having Marcus Maye back there. So do I have any more positives for you? That's about it, guys. Oh, no, there it is. Braden Mann with a 46-yard average. His long was 58 yards, which Ryan from 24/7 predicted 57. He just about nailed that. Even with Bob Barker rules, he didn't go over. So that was pretty good. Braden Mann looks like the real deal. And that, hey, that's what you want out of your punter. We have a history of our punters flubbing kicks all day, 27-yarders and all that kind of stuff. I did like Lachlan Edwards, but Braden Mann seems to be an upgrade, and that's good news. So, guys, we're going into San Francisco this week. I just read that George Kittle might be having some injury issues, which would be a positive for us. I mean, I'm not rooting for him to be injured, of course, but that would make things a bit easier. All we got to do is stop the run in against San Francisco, and Garoppolo is going to have a hard time with his wide receiver core being decimated. So here's the thing. We needed game 1. It was way worse than I even thought it could be, but we needed it. We needed to get that under our belts, and we needed to get on the field and make those mistakes. 18 minutes of possession versus 41 for the Bills. We had a tough day. Darnold, we all know the negatives, which is I'm not trying to get stuck in there. It's really easy to get stuck in that mud. But we're trying to talk about the positives. So going into San Francisco, I think it's good to have all that baloney take place, even receivers dropping balls, all those kinds of things. Shake it off. Get going into the San Francisco game with all of that under our belts, water under the bridge. It was basically our opportunity to have a preseason game, and we did it. So, any positives that I missed? Let me know in the comments. I'm happy to have a discussion. As you guys know, I reply to pretty much every comment that you guys make. I love talking to you. And don't forget, this weekend, we're going to be live streaming it again. I have some more special guests. Last week, Matt O'Leary and Ryan from Jets Talk 24/7 stopped by. And I had my old Jets fan buddy, Gotta Be Green, Jets fan 73, pop by as well. We're going to have more special guests this week. I already have some lined up. And we'll have another good time. So by all means, come and spend some time with us, and when we go in to this game and come out with a win. Any positives I missed, let me know. Let's not talk about the negatives here. We all know them. Let's try to get ourselves up with some positive thoughts and such, and we'll go into San Francisco, come out with a win. Like I said, go to jetnation.com, get in the conversation, like, subscribe, and go Jets.